The most common type of invasive species in the Minnesota lakes and wildlife is the zebra mussel. It is almost impossible for you to find a lake or a river that has not been invaded by the zebra mussel. According to Amy Delick from Invasive Species of Minnesota, the reason that zebra mussels are so abundant in many areas of Minnesota is because they have no natural enemies to limit their reproduction, and they usually spread rampantly. In many cases, the female zebra mussel can lay over 5,000 eggs at one time, and in 1 year they can lay up to 500,000 eggs. So it is no wonder that we are seeing so many cases of the zebra mussel. Zebra mussels are very sharp, almost like a knife, and since they are so small, it is hard to see them, especially since they live underwater. When I was little, my family owned a cabin near Lake Superior, and we went up there every summer. When we were up there, we go fishing and swimming a lot, and one day my brother and I went out to the shore and we were playing tag, and I stepped on something really sharp, and it was, in fact, a zebra mussel. I was bleeding really bad, and I had a cut on my foot about half an inch like that. This is what the zebra mussel can do to anything that even grazes them. For example, fish, deer, even humans. Zebra mussels are a very big problem on the shores of many lakes and rivers in Minnesota, but they are not the only harmful invasive species in Minnesota. Another invasive species that is found most abundantly in the Mississippi River is the Asian carp. Asian carp are brought to the United States for aquaculture and basically cleaning up waste in some of the streams, but due to flooding, they have spread into the environment of the Mississippi and Missouri rivers. Asian carp are very harmful to other species that are in the environment because, one, they are very aggressive fish and they don't get along with many other species, and two, because there are so many of them, they are taking all the food and all the other resources from the other species that reside in the streams and lakes that they're in. Because the Asian carp are so abundant in the Mississippi River, there are many places along the river, like restaurants and companies like that, that give out bounties on the Asian carp, so to speak, and they work so if you see an Asian carp, you catch them or you net them, and then you bring them in and they just kill them and dispose of them, so there aren't any more out there. Though there are many invasive species in the aqua in Minnesota, there are many on land as well. And one example of an invasive species on land is the purple loosestrife. The loosestrife is the most commonly seen weed in the whole United States and is most abundant in Minnesota. According to Eli Sagor of the University of Minnesota, the invasion of purple loosestrife into a wetland can result in the suppression of the resident plant community and the eventual alteration of the wetland's structure and function. This means that if purple loosestrife is not controlled and is spread in an area abundant in plants and grasses, the loosestrife will eventually take over the area and spread to take all the resources that are there and kill off all the other plants, which are used by animals as food and shelter. Though there are many different types of invasive species in Minnesota that have invaded many parts of the wildlife, the Minnesota DNR and the government are making plans and deciding what is the best way of limiting the reproduction and existence of these species.